All right. Today has to start with coffee first. Let's see. Okay. Problem is making coffee before you've had coffee. It makes good coffee. So I go back in this business over 50 years, I guess. Started in 1970 playing guitar and did that for quite a few years until I moved to Toronto as a sideman in 78. And I was playing on a record in a studio and the assistant got sick. And I thought, gee, I sort of love this stuff. And I asked the engineer, do you mind if I come and help while I'm not on the road? I'd love to do it, and I did. And he's a great engineer. I learned a lot from him. And I started spending all my time in the studio when I wasn't on the road. And I did my first productions there, a band called the Pucka Orchestra, and then Prairie Oyster, for which we got first Juno, actually, and that was like in 1979 or 80. And just because it was a community and people wanted to ask people their age who said, oh, you're working the studio, you want to help us out? And the same thing happened when Spirit of the West called me, and because we had been on the road playing together, and I was in a band called the Romaniacs at the time, and we used to hang out, and they were doing their Labor Day record and said to me, you know, we're sort of stuck, you want to come out and help us finish it? And so I said sure, and I went out and I helped them produce the record and finished mixing it, and it did quite well, actually. And then we did another record called Save This House, which did very well, and we got pretty lucky with that one. And sort of one thing leads to another in this business. It's all about community and people calling you because you're friends, and yet it's where the muse takes you. In the winter of 1989, and I got a call when I got back from CBC asking me if I would come there as a music producer. And I kept trying to talk them out of it. I said, well, you don't want me. I mean, it's a union place. I'd probably just piss people off. And they said, well, that's why we want you. I said, no, you don't understand. I just like to, I have ways of doing things, and, it may not work out. I said, that's why we want you. And then I started my own business called The Audio Truck. Very creative. 5 years ago, in June of 2018, I totaled it on the way to a gig in Ottawa. And it was fairly dramatic. Nobody was hurt, but the truck was totaled. I managed to salvage pretty much all the gear from it because it was it was built to move around, and it moved around a lot. It rolled, but so that was the end of the actual truck part of the Audio Truck Incorporated. But I still do a lot of remote recording, or I have been. So it's just, I never actually had a plan. I still don't know what I want to do when I grow up, but it just stuff, turns up if you leave room for it to happen and you work hard. And so I feel pretty lucky.
Say it's alright, 'cause it's alright, it's alright. I've got a smile